Greetings everyone, Select4Tech here. In today's video we have the OnePlus 70 Pro and we'll be testing Gamecube games on the OnePlus 70 Pro with the Snapdragon 855 Plus processor. This is Dolphin 5.0 MMJ, and of course if you want the links for this version I can try and put on my website. I'm not sure if I can put on my YouTube description. I'll see if I can. Feel free to check below that. First I'm just gonna very quickly show you the settings. I am gonna try and play most games without the override emulated clock speed enabled, so you don't have to worry about that. Everything is set to default. Enhancements, we're gonna put internal resolution on 720p. Aspect ratio is stretched to window, so that's all set. This is Timesplitters Future Perfect. Unfortunately it's not gonna be as smooth as you expect it to be, because this is not the smoothest game to be able to play on this phone. As you can see, we're getting about 43 FPS. I'm not too happy with this, unfortunately. It's showing 42 FPS, but it doesn't seem that smooth at all. I can't play with this lag, this is too much for me, sorry. Moving on, that was Timesplitters Future Perfect, not the best game to play on this phone. We're gonna go Resident Evil 4. Now this game should be running completely smooth, so it's locked to 30 FPS. So, cutscenes showed 24 FPS and the gameplay itself is at 30 FPS. We're gonna move on. You have the temperature of the CPU and the temperature of the battery, so you could monitor that too. Next game we have is Naruto Ninja Taisen 4. So as you can see, we're getting a smooth 60 FPS as expected, and yeah, you can try and play this 1080p. With 60 FPS again, upscaled. I keep missing everything. I don't even know how to change my... There, I changed. Yeah, cutscene, that's what I was trying to get. 60 FPS. So another game which is perfectly smooth on the OnePlus 70 Pro. Next game is Spyro, A Hero's Tale. I'm gonna go through these next ones quicker because I just realized there's a lot of games to test. Now this game is running smooth as well, 60 FPS, no frame drops at all, and the quality is beautiful when it's upscaled to 720p, so this Spyro is the easiest game to emulate really, with no frame drops, so you could play this nice and smooth. Spyro, A Hero's Tale, that was. The next Spyro game is a bit more demanding. This one is called Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning. Now for this game, it shows 25 FPS and there should be no frame drops, but we'll see what happens.
I see you, my little glowing friend. Forgive up, Chunky!
I'm trying to skip this, but... Okay, so this is a different scene, and as you can see, we're still locked to 25 FPS. We do get some frame drops, but... not much you could change about that. Still, it's pretty smooth to me, so I will call this playable. I wouldn't play this though. I'm not a huge fan of this version of Spyro. It's too dark for me. I prefer something where I could see around me. Next one is Battle Stadium DON. This is the one where Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and all of these One Piece characters are in one game, like Super Smash Bros. Now for this I've chosen Sasuke, but in general you could see this is going to be locked to 60 FPS. So 60 FPS for Battle Stadium DON. Next game we have is Crash Bandicoot Tag Team Racing. This is the one where it's open world like Super Mario Galaxy, but you also have racing. So as you can see, here we're getting about 35 FPS, and it is the most demanding place. So you won't expect to go lower than this anywhere. But it's still smooth, so good news for that. Completely playable too. And again, this game is specifically available on Gamecube, but it's also on PSP. So using the PSP emulator, you can get a higher FPS. Hopefully that's in a different video of mine, which I've already uploaded. But let's go on to racing, so you can see how the racing is. As you can see, we dropped to 31 FPS right at the beginning, and now we're at 30 FPS. I don't see any lag, thankfully, but I don't know, it depends on you, if you're confident enough to play this. I'm gonna make it more graphically intense in a minute, so... Here, No, I wanted to join with you.
And don't call me anymore.
I don't even know how to use my... There it is. Here, as you can see, when the merging happened, it dropped to 29 FPS, so it's still smooth, and throughout all of this time I'm doing, it's still at 30 FPS, so pretty smooth. I'm very happy. Now, Sonic Heroes, on the other hand, has a graphical bug with the MMJ version, so we can't test this here. We're gonna have to go to the other Dolphin version. So, for Sonic Heroes, on the normal Dolphin version, yes, you can play it fine. So, as you can see, it's now 60 FPS, so it's good.
When you lose a life, you restart from the last checkpoint you touched. The leader's level increases too. There they are!
PacMan's robots!
Leave them to me, Sonic.
Okay! Okay!
Got it!
I'm very bad at this game, so forgive me at that. Either way, you saw 60 FPS, let's move on. That was Sonic Heroes on the normal Dolphin emulator, which you could get from the Play Store. Now, I'm using MMJ because I just prefer it. Now, this is Super Smash Bros. Melee. I don't know where I am right now. There I am, I'm Pikachu. And he died. So he killed himself apparently. But either way, that was 60 FPS, so moving on. Next game we have is Starfox Assault. This is just a flying game,
Here
as
we
you can see.
go. Hey, Slippy.
Of course, this is going to be 60 FPS.
Slippy, you've already got bogeys on your tail. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Ouch!
This happens because you're reckless. Be more careful.
Cornelia Army now commencing third volley of cannon.
Okay, so that was 60 FPS. I'm not a fan of this game either, so sorry. We're getting into the serious stuff now. This is Simpsons Hit and Run, which everyone loves, I'm sure. Was voted one of the best games of the year, so here. And yes, you can play at 60 FPS on your phone, but you do need to mess around with the settings. For example, this is at the moment on 720p upscaled. I would recommend to play at the 480p for a smoother experience. But if you don't care about the smoothness and the occasional lag, as you can see so far we're at 60 FPS and we haven't had any serious frame drops.
Vengeance will be mine.
I hope the FPS counter is visible at the top right, top left.
I think I hit my car.
No, I think I ran over you. I'm a very bad driver, sorry. As you can see, there are some lag. There is some lag, and there is some frame drops. Like here. We just dropped to 54 FPS, but straight back at 60 as soon as that happened.
Alright! I didn't do it.
Game we have is Hot Wheels World Race. This was actually one of my favorite games growing up, so I had to include it. Now this you could play even upscaled to 4K at 60 FPS because it's so easily emulated and so light on the processor of the OnePlus 7T Pro. Or probably any phone can really emulate this, wouldn't be surprised. Now we're just gonna play a bit of this, not too much, don't worry. So that was Hot Wheels World Race. Next one is Aggressive Inline. This is a skating game. Let's load it. I have no idea what the controls are for this, so forgive me. So 60 FPS for Aggressive Inline. Let's move on. Next game is The Incredibles: Rise of the Underminer. This was on the PS2 as well, so it's good that we could play the Gamecube version. Now there are graphical bugs, as you can see there's these square boxes underneath them, but it's fine. I think you could still play it fine. Really, it depends. It's not completely unplayable either. And you can always turn down the graphics to 480p. That was The Incredibles: Rise of the Underminer. Now, next one we have is Luigi's Mansion. I'm not interested in that. So for Luigi's Mansion, this is 30 FPS as well. I've already tested this, so I know, but there's a lot of... Here. I don't know how to use... It says put the control stick, but I don't understand it. Anyways, that was 30 FPS, and I'm not gonna get too much into that one either. So, Mario Kart Double Dash. I want to use... How do you use the skills? There it is. Okay, so as you can see, 60 FPS, no frame drops. I did notice some lag, but it's not too serious. It only drops to about 57 or 56 FPS. In general, we're at 60, so that's good. Now, that was Mario Kart Double Dash. Of course, next game we have is Super Mario Sunshine. Now, I'm pretty sure this game runs smooth, but I haven't tried it, so I'm not too sure. 100%. Okay, we're running at 30 FPS. In general, we're at 30 FPS, so that's all good. Need for Speed Most Wanted. (54 FPS to 60 FPS). When I crashed, I went to 50 FPS, now it's at 60 again. So, that was Need for Speed Most Wanted. And PacMan World. I died. For PacMan World, we're at 60 FPS too. As you can see, nice and smooth, 60 FPS. And I'm dead. That was PacMan World 3. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now I'm gonna go through these next ones quicker. This one had lots of graphical bugs. You can see artifacts all over the screen. But in general, it would play 60 FPS, so... I'm gonna skip the next one. Soul Calibur 2. This is also another game that you would be able to play at 60 FPS. But again, there are some frame drops to 55 or so, but it's still completely playable, so you don't have to worry. For now, it's shown only 60 FPS. I haven't noticed anything lower. That was Soul Calibur 2, Spyro. We got Enter the Dragonfly. For this Spyro game, there is a lot of lag, so I cannot recommend it at all. The reason being, as you can see, we're at 30 FPS here, but when you go somewhere more quiet, it goes to 60 FPS. Now it really depends if you don't mind the small amount of lag that you get. But it does bother me, so I wouldn't play it. Now, Starfox Adventures. This is another Star Fox game, but you could run around, so it's more like that. No spaceships. For this game, it is 60 FPS. As you can see, this is very graphical right now. Rain and everything. And we did get drops to 57 FPS, but that's the lowest it would go. I'm gonna go to different scenes so you could see. As you can see, we're at 60 FPS. The cutscenes do take it to about 53. But it won't go any lower than that, so you don't have anything to worry about. Starfox Adventures. Now, True Crime Streets of LA is another GameCube game. So this is like GTA San Andreas in some ways. I'm sure most of you know what this game is, so I don't have to explain it. But it is locked to 25 FPS, in case you were wondering. And it's not all driving. I'm gonna drive a bit. I don't know how to get out of my car though. There. And it's like he knows Kung Fu. But in general, let me fight you. Either way, 25 FPS for True Crime, LA. Timesplitters 2 is the next game I have. I'm gonna play these very quickly now, okay? So Timesplitters 2, unlike Timesplitters 1, is completely playable. I'm just shit at it, but you could see it's 60 FPS, so that's Timesplitters 2. Need for Speed Underground 2. I'm gonna go through these as quickly as possible. Need for Speed Underground 2, 30 FPS, but it will drop to 20 FPS. And again, I would... Oh, so this can go to 60 FPS as well. So there's a lot of lag. I wouldn't recommend it. Since it's dropping from 30 FPS to 60, that's gonna show a lot of lag. Now you can turn down the settings and make it more playable, but still I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're a fan of this game, I still see it kinda playable. I'm just a bad driver, but I'm sure you guys can do better. Let's move on to Need for Speed Carbon, a much more recent Need for Speed game. For this we're at 60 FPS. We're getting some frame drops. I'm gonna move to a different save state. This is with more cars, so it's gonna be more frameless. As you can see, we're at 36 FPS instead of 60, so not the best. Is it playable? Depends how tolerant you are with lag. For me, not so much, but if you like Need for Speed, why not? Turn down the settings a bit more and you could play this with a bit more solid frame rates. Okay, we're getting closer to the end. This is WrestleMania WWE XIX. And yes, this game is running 60 FPS, no questions asked, no doubt. Stop flipping me! Let me fight! So 60 FPS for WrestleMania. SSX3 is a snowboarding game. This one works. And it's pretty fun too. And yes, we do get 60 FPS on this. So 60 FPS for SSX3. Sonic Riders is the next game. And yes, Sonic Riders does run 60 FPS with no frame drops at all, so good news for those Sonic fans. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.